Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of MGR Unplugged, brought to you by the MGR Agency.
The
You
added
one
the.
and only MGR Agency. David is with me, and today we're going to discuss, or actually we're going to chat about what we do when we are not working, which is hardly ever the case.
I don't have that period is very small for me these days.
It's going to be a short podcast because we're always working here. We don't have much of a work-life balance. It's very imbalanced, and we're going to discuss that. But actually, no, it's not true. We do have a good time too, and the key part is that we actually enjoy what we do. So working is fun sometimes. Sometimes it's not fun, but sometimes it's fun.
I always say the grand scheme, the overall is enjoyable. That doesn't mean that there aren't things that you do that are not fun.
There are some nuances there that kind of throw a little wrench for us. But for the most part, we really enjoy what we do. But it's funny because it's a typical conversation that we see every day when you run into people, especially friends that you haven't seen for a while or something, and everybody say, hey, what do you do these days? What are you working on? Or where do you work? What do you do? And do you have time to hang out and this and that? And you know, you find yourself almost like the 15 or the 30-second elevator speech, but it's the opposite. It's not selling your business or trying to see or say what you do. It's actually saying what you not do. Like I find myself, I like in my case, I do a lot of mountain biking and I still do some racing. I go with my go-kart or my race car and this but it's like really, I mean, everything that we do is revolves around my work, or the agency, which I love, and then obviously everything else that comes as what I do when I'm not working. But anyways, it was funny because I was talking to David too, and he's in a different situation. He's obviously much younger, and he says, "I don't even have any hobbies these days."
I know it's like because we always talk about what's the topic for this week's podcast, and you said, let's talk about, what we do outside of work. And I said, I don't do anything outside of work. I just work. I work, eat, and sleep these days.
It kind of makes me feel bad. Like, you asked me for a raise or something. It's like, no, it's not that. It's just, I will work for nothing. No, he didn't say that.
But, I mean, outside of what I used to do, my biggest hobby, that's not true. I don't just work, eat, and sleep. That's an exaggeration. But I don't have enough time for a real hobby, like the type of hobby that you can just immerse yourself in for hours. I don't really have time for that because I don't have hours and hours to spare. My only hobby, quote unquote, these days is just reading, but I don't even do that very much. Like I used to read every single day, and now I don't. I don't have
you
time.
do read. It's just that you're describing reading as
Books.
Having a book in your hands and sitting down in the sunset.
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of
something.
Research for our business,
right?
But I don't consider that like reading a book,
right? It's just research or education.
I used to try to read like an hour a day, and now that's just not possible for me. So now I only read on weekends, and I try to cram on weekends and read like a few hours on Saturday and a few hours on Sunday. But you don't get through books very quickly when you're only reading like 6 hours a week.
Yeah, definitely if it's the unabridged version. No, but the thing is that there's also a misconception. Like I, for instance, in my case, I like to own my time, and I find it more and more difficult to find time where I'm totally in control of what I'm doing, or basically my time. And luckily for me, I'm an early morning person, so I don't mind getting up super early, and then doing everything that I want to do early morning. So I mean, these days I find myself getting up really at 5 o'clock, 5:15, 5:30 at the latest. My alarm is at 5:30 every morning, and every time my alarm goes off, I've been already like 20 minutes up. I'm drinking my coffee, whatever. So
I'm the opposite.
Yeah. I know.
That's
the good thing.
My schedule looks something like this. I mean, normally I start working at 8 a.m. and then I normally will take like a little break in the afternoon sometime. But then at night, like 7:38 to like, it depends how much work I have to do, like 11, midnight, whatever, I'm always able to focus really well. I think because most people are offline, so I can just focus on things I need to get done. So that like 7:30, 8 p.m. to like midnight time is really
well, that's
good
also
work
your
for me.
time. That you also find the time where you have less interruptions, whether
Right.
it's coworkers or phone calls or client conversations,
Right,
things
exactly.
like that.
During the
You can really
day-
focus on your part.
During the that's when I do a lot of the focused work that I need
Mm-hmm.
to do, because during the day I have lots of calls and people emailing me all the time, and I'm not like, I love when all these people say, oh yeah, I only answer my emails in this 30-minute window once a day.
Yeah, right.
That's beautiful. You don't work in client service. If I did that, our clients would fire us. That's not how it works.
Yeah,
So-
no, and I don't even know if these people do it or what kind of emails they get or whatever. But I mean, I try to minimize the email pop-ups and all that stuff. I check my email, obviously. I think it checks automatically every 10, 15 minutes, and I kind of take a quick look. But just to make sure that nothing is urgent, because as you know, I mean, we are in the client services. So normally our clients know us very well, and they see that if we don't reply to an email right away and it's urgent, they will give us a call or something. If it's not urgent, obviously they expect us to reply to it on a timely basis, usually within the same day or the same few hours. But yeah, in my case, like I said, I get up early in the morning, and any time between 5 o'clock in the morning and let's say about 8:30 our time, I feel like in total control. I usually work out obviously in the mornings early, and then I read, I listen to podcasts, I try to work on myself. I'm planning my day and all that, and then after that, I was trying also to schedule my day to the minute. And then I realized that was just causing me a lot of frustrations, because the moment is like 9 o'clock, and I start hearing from clients and coworkers and projects and feedback and emails and all that stuff. My whole schedule will be out of whack.
Yeah.
And by then I get frustrated, and I feel like I've lost it. So I usually only want to do like one major task or maybe two a day. Everything else is like I would just do what I can.
I used to do the same. I used to have my Google Calendar where it was like there was not a single white space on it, and just filled like, okay, 10 o'clock do this, 10:30 do this, 10:45 do, and that just drove me crazy. And first of all, it's impossible to stick with it, because you miss one thing and then all of a sudden you miss another thing, and now you're 2 hours behind and the whole schedule's out of whack. And so now I don't have a schedule unless it's something that needs to be at a certain time. So yeah, if I have a meeting or a call or something at a certain time, that's fine. I put it on a calendar. But other than that, I don't put like, oh, at 2 p.m. I'm going to do this, 3 p.m. I'm going to do this, because that just didn't work for me. Maybe it works for other people. I've gone way old school recently, because I'm one of those people who is always looking for the next productivity app and little thing I can do and method. And I just realized I was spending so much time trying to become 2% more productive. I was like, why don't I just like be more productive now and stop learning about downloading this new app and trying it? Because then, of course, every time you download a new software app, you have to learn it, and so that's like always a challenge. You have to move your whole system there.
It's a discipline thing. Yeah.
I've gone low tech now. I literally went back
It's like all
to
this
the oldest method. I do written in a notebook to-do list now.
But these productivity apps or softwares and stuff remind me of the same thing for exercise. When you're disciplined and you know what you have to do, and you know what needs to get done, and you know your priorities, you just get it done. I mean, you can put it at 2 p.m. and then you start at 2:30. That doesn't really matter. I mean, the thing is that you know what needs to be done, and you're going to do it. And you don't need a stupid app to remind you. And it's the same thing with exercise and dieting and all that stuff. Okay, you're going to have a cheesecake. You know that's bad for you. Okay, you can have one in a blue moon or something. It's fine. But if you have cheesecake every night, sorry, buddy. That's not a good diet. It's a lot of sugar and this or that, all that stuff. And exercise is the same way. So I went through the same. I mean, I had every app in the book or whatever in my phone to be more effective and remind me of tasks and this and that. And it's like, okay, stop overwhelming you. I'm spending a lot of time with the task management as opposed to task execution.
And I think those apps are good. To me, this is where I draw on the line. Basically, anything that is a personal task that isn't a group thing, I just write on a notebook. I have a notebook on my desk, and I just write normally in the evening, I will write things, because as always, I fill my to-do list to the max, and normally I'm not able to get everything done in the day. So in the evening, I'll migrate over everything that I didn't get done that day to the next day, and then in the morning, I'll kind of go through and say, okay, this is what I want to get done today. And obviously, as the day goes on, you write more things down. But for individual stuff that's like just mostly me, I just do a notebook because it's so much easier than productivity apps. The only thing that obviously I think apps are good for is when we have project management with multiple people on a team.
Obviously,
then
yeah,
I can say I can't do that in a
coordination,
notebook.
obviously. But and back to the excuse me, initial topic of what we do when we're not working. The main thing is that, like I said, the misconception is. I mean, I like I said, I start earlier. 5 o'clock in the morning, and then people see me sometimes.
Right, so I don't get up till
working at 8 or something. But
I don't get up till 7. Normally.
That's fine. But you work way late.
Right,
by
exactly.
10 o'clock at night, I'm in bed, and usually I read a little bit and fall asleep with my Kindle, pretty much all the time, which is fine. It's a great sleeping aid for me. But the thing is that many times I'm actually going back to do some work way into 7:30, 8 o'clock. I go to a coffee shop and continue reading, researching, writing. That's when I like to write articles, blogs, and things like that, because it's a little bit more free time, and I feel like I'm out of the office environment and I can be a little more creative. And people think, oh my God, you get up at 5:30 or something, you're still working at 8 o'clock. It's like, yeah, but that doesn't mean that I'm working. When I'm talking about the work-life balance or integration, whatever term you want to use, to combine what you do when you're working versus where you're not. In a typical day, I mean, I may, like yesterday was a good example. I mean, yesterday I'm preparing to go to a race or an auto racing event this weekend in Austin, Texas. So yesterday I got up. I was supposed to load my race car with a friend's trailer and all that stuff, and supposed to happen at 11. It didn't happen for other reasons until like 2 in the afternoon. I had to leave for a couple hours, came back. So I can plan my day however I want. Things will happen when they happen, and then if I need to catch up and do some stuff later in the evening, it's fine with me. So it's not like I don't like the structure of being like, okay, 9 to 5, and then I'm off. I mean, I kind of intermingle my work and leisure activities or planning throughout my work day and my week and everything. And by the same token, if one Saturday I feel like I'm going to research something because it really appeals to me, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to work on a Saturday for a couple of hours or 3 hours doing something. Yeah, it's a Saturday and everybody's thinking about, doing something that is leisure type, but I don't care because I can do whatever I want if I want to on a Tuesday. It doesn't have to be on a Saturday, So it's just finding the time to combine everything that you want to achieve within your day or your life, while you also do the work, obviously.
Right. I work as much as I do because I want to, and I enjoy it. Like I said, I enjoy the grand scheme, the overall. I don't enjoy every single little task, but that's okay. That's life, and you're not going to enjoy every second.
Exactly.
But my point is that I'm able to work a lot because I want to and I enjoy it. When I had jobs that I didn't like, oh, you better believe that
You're counting to 5.
The second that clock ticked time to go, I was out of there. I was not there 1 second longer because I hated it.
But that's when you feel the ownership. When you have skin in the game, when you have ownership of what you do, it's a whole different mindset, a whole different mentality. When you're working at a sub shop or electronic store, whatever, and you're making 10, 12, 15 bucks an hour on somebody else's.
Not even just that. I mean, a lot of corporate jobs, a lot of people don't like their jobs.
Like that too. Yeah, I mean, they say that 80% of people hate their jobs, and it's like, okay, well, you gotta do something about it.
I think that number's high.
It's exaggerated. Yeah, I mean, hating is too strong.
Is different.
It's different when you say in the morning, "Oh my God, I had to go to work, traffic, whatever." Okay, yeah, right. Nobody likes that part.
I don't think I've ever hated a job. I've disliked it.
They will hate it much more if they were laid off. I'll tell you that. That's the way to put it in perspective.
Yeah.
But anyways, the thing is that we're looking into. Nobody wants to be overworked, and it's critical. It's super important in life because it'll catch up with you sooner or later. To combine your work activities where you feel productive and you're contributing to your business, whether it's your business or somebody else's business, where you're contributing with your expertise and your task and your job to make it the business better and successful. And then at the same time, you find time to do other stuff that is important to fulfill yourself as a person. And that could be, it could be anything. It could be spending time with the family, if you have family, kids, and so forth. It could be educating yourself, doing some entertainment parts or fitness or health or fun activities. So I remember when I read Stephen Covey's book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and this is I don't know, eons ago, it looks like. I was still in college, I think. But anyways, when I read that book, honestly, I don't remember if he said that, but I created these 4 major accounts that I had to contribute to daily, weekly, monthly, and so forth. And my 4 major accounts were 3 F's, which is fun, family, and fitness, because are very important for me, and then work, obviously. So every day I need to put some time or a lot of time into work and develop my office, my work, my job, and everything that is professional development. And then I need to also put time into the accounts that are not work, which is, for me, they're fun, having fun with my friends and all that stuff. Family, which is spending time with the family. And then fitness, because without fitness, really, there's health, you're not going to be able to do anything else. So those are very important things. And it's true that sometimes they overlap. It's true that sometimes you find overwhelmed at work, or you have a major project to finish and you spend a lot of time at work. And that's fine, but then you need to understand that then you have a deficit or red numbers on the other accounts, and you need to compensate by spending more time with the family later, or working more your fitness, recovery, the fitness that you lost because you have late night at work or whatever. So, but overall, with those 4 accounts that I always keep in the back of my mind, I don't do anything in writing. Again, I don't have any app to help me with that. I just know that I need to spend the time with all those 4 major pillars to keep my life in balance. And when I do, it's the same thing if I work out a lot. If I do a lot of fitness, I'm going to be injured. I'm going to be in bad health. I'm going to be in a bad mood. It affects everything. It's like a domino effect.
Can I add one extra pillar?
Yeah, go ahead.
That I think a lot more people are focusing on now, and I certainly am, and I've totally changed my mind on, and that's sleep.
Yeah, well,
because I used to be the guy. This is bad. It was really bad. I mean, probably 2 years ago, I used to try to do these. What was it called?
I remember that.
Polymorphic, something sleep. Basically, where it was ridiculous. Now that I think back, I was like, "What an idiot!" I really thought that would work.
You were trying to convince me to do it. And
yeah, and I was telling people, I would tell friends, like, "Yeah, you do this, and you only need."
Why don't you explain first what it is?
Okay,
so people can.
There's different schedules, but basically the idea is when you sleep, a lot of people get just light sleep, and that light sleep doesn't really do much for you. The main sleep you need is REM sleep and deep sleep. And if you have any type of sleep tracker, like I know you said you're looking at the Oura Ring, that's like a ring that will tell you how much deep sleep you got, how much REM.
Well, I was looking at that not just for sleep. I was looking for that for
right.
overall activity.
I'm just saying there's like trackers. And when you look at them, normally you only get like 2 hours of deep sleep a night. And then, like, say if you sleep 8 hours, you might only get like 5 hours of deep and REM, and the other 3 are like light sleep. And so the idea is, well, screw it. You don't need that light sleep. You want to get your body into a state where you only need deep and REM sleep, and you can go instantly into deep sleep when you close your eyes, basically.
Yeah.
So what you do, and this is insane, is don't try this. I tried it. It was horrible.
Mike Tyson, or he'd punch you in the mouth.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Trying to get up at 4 a.m. when you went to bed at midnight, very difficult. And doing that every single day. Basically, I would go to bed at midnight, wake up at 4, and then during the day, around 11, try to take like a 30-minute nap. And at like 3, 4 in the afternoon, take a 30-minute nap. So I was only sleeping 5 hours a day. But the idea was that by sleeping less at night and then getting 2 naps during the day, you could be fully replenished. And this was the problem, especially that afternoon nap, the 3 o'clock. Yeah, that didn't work, especially after because the whole thing was, it's going to take a couple weeks for your body to adjust. So I did it for like a month, and my body did not adjust. And I just remember one time it was like 4 o'clock, and I said, okay, I need to take my nap. And I slept through my alarm. I didn't wake up. I woke up at like 10 o'clock at night.
That's how the body adjusted.
And my body said, fuck off. You're sleeping.
Sleep more.
So, anyways, I learned from my mistakes. Oh, and by the way, while I was awake, I was like a zombie. My productivity was terrible. I couldn't focus. You need sleep. So these days, I try to prioritize sleep. So that's why I said you should add it as a pillar. But I also think that at different stages in people's lives, so you talk about family, fitness, fun, whatever, work, I think, like for me, it's different. I don't have children. I'm not at that age yet. So for me right now, my only family and our relatives live in Spain on the other side of the world. So I don't actually have that much family on a day-to-day basis that I could even interact with. So my family column is smaller for now. Obviously, one day I'll have my own family and I'll want to spend time with my kids. But right now, I don't.
No, it's totally clear. Yeah.
I can focus on the two things I focus on most are just work and then fitness. And the fitness is because if I'm not in good shape, then I'm not going to be able to work well either. So those are the two things. And then fun.
The fitness
I don't do
for
much
me
fun these days
is,
either.
I know you said sleep, but the fitness for me means
You could
like
throw
a big
sleep in.
umbrella. It's basically fitness, health, basically being fit for as far as healthy.
Right.
Obviously that means exercise, which is what people usually associate with fitness, but I'm talking more like eating healthy, making sure that my body is always fully functioning at 100%. I can't demand my body to work at 100% if I go late to sleep, if I don't have enough hours, if I have a lot of alcohol, if I'm hangover, if I'm eating too much. All those things affect your body. They make you sleepy, they make you this, that, and all that stuff. So I definitely, I'm a very fitness conscious person. I've been in fitness all my life on different stages of different things. So, but I do consider that very important for me too. So it goes with diet, it goes with everything else, because if I don't give it the proper fuel and rest to my body, everything else is just not going to matter. So I don't want to have, I guess I do it because I don't want to have that excuse of saying, oh, I made this mistake, or I didn't work effectively or something because I didn't sleep last night, because I didn't do this, because I felt bad, because I don't want to have any excuses. I do what I can, or as much as I can, to be at 100% physically and fitness, and then everything else should just happen. It just happens. But I don't have the excuse that's saying, okay, it's me. I'm just not able to carry on, So, but those 4 pillars, I mean, like you said it perfectly. I mean, they're not going to be always equally important for you in different stages of your life. And even for me, family. I mean, my family is also in Spain, and I have a lot of family members, but it's not like we spend a lot of quality time together. We spend more like sporadic time together, but it's important just knowing that the family is there. The same thing with friends and all that stuff. It's not like I'm hanging out all the time, but I know when we hang out, we have fun and all that stuff. So, but it's important. Again, it's just the main thing is that we work, and it looks like it used to be like, oh my God, I pulled an all-nighter, and you used to be a hero when you work like 24 hours straight, and you hear these people that, oh my God, these guys are always working. And yeah, there's some people that do that, and I don't know how they do it. Other than the next day you hear that they had a heart attack or whatever, or stroke or something. And that doesn't mean that tomorrow we could be super healthy and perfectly life balanced, and then we get run over by a bus. Okay, well, if that happens, so be it. But
I think everything in life is trade-offs. Like that's in economics, everything's a trade-off, and it's true in your life. You just have to have your priorities. So for me right now, I don't have a family to take care of. So I don't have to spend time on that. And so my priority right now is basically growing our agency, and then down the road, when I do have a family, then maybe I'll be much more financially well off, so I can focus on them and not have to be stuck on a strict schedule and work more independently when I want to. But right now I have my priorities, and I know I sacrifice on certain things that, sure, I would love to, like, leisure more. I don't watch I'm always behind on the latest TV shows on Netflix.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, I don't watch any of that stuff.
I could be sitting next to the American Idol winner on a plane, and I couldn't even fucking know who that person is.
Yeah, well, I don't know how many people watch.
I don't even know the show is on to begin with
these days. But
any of those reality shows, I don't even know.
I'm always behind. I hear of all these Netflix shows. The only time I watch Netflix normally is like Saturdays.
Yeah,
Game
of Thrones is the typical one that I could never have a conversation with anybody, because I don't think I've seen a single episode of that show. I've seen like maybe 10 minutes here and there because it happened to be somewhere being, playing. But I couldn't even name one character of that show. And everybody's like, oh my God, the season finale. It's like, finale? I was like, where have I been the last few years?
One note, actually. The one show I've been watching lately that's very good, that you've watched too, I think most people in the business world have probably been watching, is Succession.
Oh, yeah.
It's great. That's one show that I do look forward to when I get the chance and have some free time.
Yeah, but again, I like those shows because you can obviously watch them whenever you want on your own schedule on demand. I don't even know when it airs. live or
I think
whatever.
it airs on Sundays.
Okay, yeah,
I
I
don't
don't-
watch it live either.
But I just go when I feel like, and I watch a show that is usually an hour, 50 minutes or something, and then it's business minded or it's basically about politics and successful people and this owner trying to pass on his.
we don't need to spoil it.
Anyways,
watch it. It's a very good show.
It's an
You can
HBO
see it.
show, and it's good. It's kind of like a Billions type thing too. I mean, I like those that are business set up, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you can watch as part of your fun. I mean, we're still looking at the fun account, and if for you fun is to go to the movies or watch the show, by all means, watch whatever, binge watch for 2 hours, episodes for 3 hours or whatever. But just have a right balance. Don't use that and then say, "Oh, I don't have time to work out," because you spent 3 hours watching TV. I mean, that doesn't make any
Right.
sense. That's not being accountable.
If I was watching 4 hours of Netflix every night, and then the business wasn't growing, and then I complain, it's like, okay, well, I should probably reevaluate something here because
Exactly.
I'm spending time. What are your priorities? Now, if you say, like a lot of people aren't, if you're not trying to grow a business, you just say, listen, I work my 9 to 5 and I'm happy. And then when I go home, I don't want to think about work. That's great. And you have your priorities set. But then you're not saying, oh, well, why am I not making more money? Well, because you're not working more. I mean,
Right.
Everything is trade-offs. You have to have your priorities. And you can have different priorities at different stages in your life. I think that's the...
If I guess if I were to give myself an advice or a piece of advice to my 20-year younger self or something is we're not invincible. I mean, we all feel like in our
Except for me.
late teens and 20s, exactly. Late teens and 20s on all that stuff that you can do, get away with anything. And I say mostly on the health part that you think that you go to a party and you can have all these drinks and you can have this food and basically treat your body badly as far as nutrition, exercise, drinking, whatever it is that you do, and you feel like you recover fast and all that stuff. And believe me, that will come back to you at a later time. So even injuries. I mean, I in my case, I did a lot of sports and contact sports when I was younger. And yeah, I used to pride myself on being able to recover from injuries. Like I'll have like the biggest, baddest back pain or strains or muscles or this or that. And literally like a few hours later, if like a day after or 2 days later, I would just be fine, or at least functionally fine to continue training, carefully and all that stuff. And what you notice when you get older is that your recovery time really increases exponentially every year. And then you start feeling injuries that you had when you were much younger. So all those things will come back to you. It's like a machine. You over rev it all the time. At some point, the engine will blow up. And you think, oh, why did it blow up now? We're just driving down the road. It's like, well, maybe it's not because of what you did now. It blew up because of what you did like 30,000 miles ago when you over revved it or whatever. So that would be the only thing that I will give myself as an advice if I were back to my 20s. But of course, you can say that to a person now in their 20s, and it's going to say, yeah, fuck you, let me do what I want. What do you know about my life and all that stuff, right, David? Quiet? Nothing?
No, I mean, I don't.
No, I know you're a good example.
I don't drink much for my age. I don't. Or I really
You don't drink anything at all.
At all.
As
I don't know when the last time it was. It's been a long time. But yeah, like I said, priorities.
But
I think-
you probably have friends that are
of course,
party goers and all that
everybody
stuff.
knows people in their 20s.
Right.
That's
and
when you-
that's the thing. And you can tell those kids, hey man, don't do that. You're gonna be at some point you'll grow up and realize that this lifestyle is just not gonna cut it, But you need to go through that. I mean, you just learn, So I don't know. I mean, I sometimes I especially on Fridays I go to a place and I see this happy hour and all that stuff. And I see everybody beers and this and all that stuff, and it's like, holy man, you're starting your weekend, and tomorrow Saturday morning you're gonna be all wasted because you had 20 beers on Friday. And then you're going to watch some football game from college or something. And before you know it, it's back to Monday and you wasted the whole weekend. It's like, why living like that, But anyways, that's just my opinion. And I think, everybody can do whatever they want. So any closing thoughts as far as our lifestyle?
No, I would like to have more hobbies eventually. But, right now I just got to stay focused.
Okay. That's good. Yeah, I do have hobbies. I would like to... Actually, I don't like to change anything. I mean, I'll have the hobbies that I want to... hobbies are... The thing with hobbies, especially mine, are kind of expensive.
Well,
when your hobby is to race cars.
Yeah, my hobby used to be, I used to play pickup basketball an hour every day.
Yeah,
in the afternoons or in the evenings, and I love that. I mean, I love basketball, and
I mean, don't get me wrong. I get my mountain bike and I go in the mountains and I feel great for a couple of hours and I'm exhausted and it's very. I mean, after you buy a bike, I mean, the rest of it is just nothing. There's no expenses. The car racing and all that stuff obviously gets expensive. And if nothing happens, you still need to buy fuel and tires and move your car here and there and all that stuff. So, but it's not like I do it every weekend. I may do it like 6, 7, 8 weekends in the year, and it's fine. It's a good relief. It's frankly one of the activities that actually gets my mind away from work. I'm so focused on the driving that is really a good stress reliever. So I consider that almost like a therapeutic. So maybe I can put it into my health account and fitness account instead of fun or hobby or something. So anyways, guys, thank you for this, for following us on this short episode. We'll be back probably next week. David and I actually have a business trip. Speaking of work-life balance, in a couple of weeks, we'll be in Spain, mixing some business and pleasure, hopefully more business and pleasure, but we'll see how it goes. We should be able to do another podcast next week, which will be on Thursday. This one, you can listen to it as usual on Friday or Saturday this weekend. And in the meantime, if you want to check us out, please go to mgredge.com. We have 3 podcasts there every week for e-commerce clients. The Edge is usually more tech-driven, and then obviously Unplugged is a little more all over the place as far as subjects and topics. And until then, we'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.